Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show.
Connery Curious! Saga! The Last Crusade! You Only Live Twice! And the Anderson Tapes! Murder on the Orient Express! You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next! Marty and a Woman of Straw! And a Voodoo Man in Africa! We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
But I've had some time to marinate on it. I guess we're just in the recording now, huh?
Yeah, we're just in.
Yeah,
Dylan,
we're in it.
Dylan Titus.
Mario Lima.
How you doing today?
I'm doing. I'm okay. I did my laundry, had therapy. Wasn't able to work today because I had a hand injury.
Oh, how is that? I meant to ask you.
It's okay. It's wrapped up right now. I should be fine by like Wednesday, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, but I was almost hit by a car while I was on my bike, and while swerving, it was either one or the other. I was either swerving to avoid somebody coming at me on a bike much faster in the opposite direction, or I was swerving to avoid a giant tractor-trailer truck. That was
Both very scary scenarios.
I can't remember which one came first, but I had to dodge both of them 1 second right after the other. It was I was completely in shock, and to basically get out of it as unharmed as possible, I had to like twist myself off of the bike and onto the ground, and I kind of tent-poled onto my right arm, and it just took all the weight.
Man.
So it was quite swollen for what that happened Thursday.
I had a very
Friday,
similar
it's-
situation when I was a kid. Like maybe
Yeah.
not a kid, but
What
like
happened?
I was on a Razor scooter. Remember those?
Oh yeah, I saw one
And-
the other day.
Oh man, I wouldn't mind getting one again to save on gas, but I feel like I would kill myself in one of those because it was scary as an adult. But like going down on, for those who don't know what a Razor scooter is, it's
Just a scooter.
it's just a scooter, very tiny wheels. You have to get those really cool colored wheels. I think mine were
You
red.
Fold them up.
Yeah, you fold it up, you put it on in a little bag if you wanted, and you carry it around. And
I
the
had
way
one.
you would, what color wheels do you have?
Green,
Green. Nice.
like
It was either
neon green. You could kind of see through them.
Yeah, I feel like mine were see through too, but they were red. I feel like it was either red or green were like the mainstays for your Razor scooter wheels.
And pink.
But-
You see a lot of pink ones and blue
Oh
ones.
yes. So I'm going down. I was going down a hill, very fast with my friends, racing our Razor scooters,
Oof.
and I don't know what came over me. So the way you brake is you kind of put your
You put
heel back
On the back wheel, yeah.
and there is a little.
The most basic of brakes.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, but I was going down so fast, and at the bottom of this hill, it was a street, regular asphalt street, whatever, and at the bottom of the street was
Your
a
regular
road,
asphalt street.
regular ass
Fault
fault.
street.
But at the bottom of the street, there was a street that went parallel to it and had a really busy traffic. And beyond that was just grass. And I was going so fast, I was frozen with fear and didn't know, like, for some reason, forgot how brakes worked. So time literally stood still for me and kind of like slowed down. And I had two options. One, it was just keep going and hope I don't hit a car, or there was a set of bushes to the right that I could just drive into and that would stop me. But there were like thorn bushes.
Oh boy.
So in my head, time slowed down, so I had time to swerve into
The bush.
the bush, and then I missed the bush and kept going down the street, and I just ended up crossing the road.
Oh my
and
God.
Got onto the grass and just kind of stopped on the grass. And I was like very lucky. A car could have
Wow.
came by and like took me out and killed me, but I just kind of
Wow.
just went right through, and it was a really, really scary scenario. All my friends were like, "Why didn't you hit the brakes?" I'm like, I didn't know that they worked, or for
And that
whatever
wouldn't have
reason.
stopped you. That would have just made it slower.
Yeah, at least
like-
I feel like if I hit the brake and slowed down, then I could have like jumped off the Razor scooter.
Which would have been more dangerous.
True, I could have hurt a
Yeah,
leg or
yeah.
like just scraped
Or-
myself up good.
Or if you, I feel like if you hit it too hard, it would have like swerved you to the side, and you probably would have gone like backwards, like onto your back or on your in your hips or something, and really
Yeah.
like take some skin damage.
But either
Oof.
way, it's like one of those situations where you're like your brain tells you, okay, there are some scenarios that you can take to help yourself, and it gives you a split second to like make a decision. So that's cool that your brain did that for you. It did kind of give you the more safe
Yeah.
scenario, And
Though I will say, afterwards, when I was like still in shock, I was like, I bet if I just kept going, I would have just completely avoided both of them. Like it was because I hesitated, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna get hit by one or the other. I got to swerve. And I bet if I had just kept going, I would have just squeaked by the tail of the truck, and
Would've been
crossed the street.
like a Mission
But-
Impossible scene.
Now, your story reminded me of two different stories that I will share, if that's okay.
Hit us with
'Cause
it, man.
Something similar happened to me. You remember my old roommate, JD, right?
Yeah.
We were riding our bikes through the town of Cumberland, and there was not a huge hill, but a decent-sized decline on a street, and it crossed with a main road that was very busy, and it was also small enough where people kind of just flew through and didn't think anything of it. And I had to basically I had to stop my bike short, and my brakes weren't stopping me fast enough, so I had to put my feet down, and I broke my big toe. And then still, because the brain is in shock, I just rode home completely fine, and by the time I got home, I'm like, oh yeah, this thing is swollen, good lord. But I realized only afterwards, hey, we were on Titus Street.
Really?
Yes, really.
Oh my goodness.
And then my second story, when I went out to LA last year, I to save some money, I found one that had a connecting flight through Seattle. And my cousin lives in Washington, about an hour from Seattle, so he came out and we had some lunch in between my flights. And we were sitting at an outdoor restaurant on a corner. And one street is a main city road, and the other one is a giant hill. Like, I don't know, 50-degree angle. It's steep. It's very, very steep. And at the bottom of that hill is another busy road. But across from that, like on the other side of that road, is a park, and that park is right next to the water. Now, for an exact reference, you can see this exact hill, this exact spot, in the movie Singles from 1992 by Cameron Crowe, which also came out a day after I was born, and is the inspiration for the show Friends. Anyway, it's a really good movie. It's got Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Eddie Vedder in it. It's got it's a really good movie. So you can see this exact hill. For context, so you can see how crazy this story I'm about to tell you is. We're sitting there eating, and all of a sudden, this man in a wheelchair comes up, crossing the busy street, and gets to the hill. This is clearly a homeless man. I don't mean to make a judgment, but it was obvious. And he's in his wheelchair, getting ready to go down this massive hill. And he hikes himself back onto the two big wheels, little wheels in the air, feet in the air, and very slowly, using all his upper body strength, like grabs and releases, like slowly breaks himself. But he's going down that hill fast, like above 30 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Going down this hill. And he goes all the way down and right across the road. There's not a red light down there or anything. Like, there is a light, but it's not red, and cars are going through. And this dude goes right across the crosswalk, misses every opportunity to be hit by any car, doesn't fall backwards, nothing. Perfectly executes a complete roll down the hill into the park across the street. It was phenomenal. And actually, that film I was referring to, Singles, it's free on YouTube right now. So if you go find it, I'll pull it up later. I'll show you the exact hill. Because as soon as I saw the movie, I'm like, oh my God, it's that hill. And it's also funny because it's used during a montage where a woman is biking across town, and then the direct next shot is nowhere near where that hill was, so it's pretty funny. But when you see the hill, you're like, I wouldn't go down that in my car.
Oh my God.
And this dude rolled his wheelchair down it. It was amazing.
Wow.
And perfectly executed to the other side. So he did what you did in your story, but in a wheelchair
What
on
if
a
it was
massive hill in a city.
What if who you saw was me from the future?
Oh my! I hope not.
That would be crazy.
Also, I'd be worried. Maybe not worried, but I'd be concerned about what you've done to the pigment of your skin over the course of many years.
Ah, yeah.
So
That might take it too far. But you know what's not too far?
wait. I don't know what's not too far.
A bridge.
A bridge not too far?
A bridge not too far.
A bridge not too far. What?
We're talking about today, 1977's
Singles
A Bridge Too Far
by Cameron Crowe. Honestly, though, really watch that movie. It's
I want
really
to.
good.
Yeah, that sounds
It's really good.
I feel like you showed me a clip of that movie recently, or not too long ago.
It might have been one of the clips with Chris. Oh, it's the one with Chris Cornell.
With
where
Chris
it's
Cornell.
Like the car speakers are so loud that they shatter the windows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I got to see that in full length.
It's a funny movie.
Let's do it, man. I want to watch it.
All right,
yes.
so 12 minutes in, welcome to Connery Curious, folks.
A podcast where, believe it or not, we talk about every single movie in the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Though I bet anybody that is a fan of like Cameron Crowe's films or hill-based adventures probably be a fan of this. Yeah. Well, hey, they reviewed The Hill. They probably have other episodes where they talk about hills.
That's all we talk about is movie with the hills in them.
This is a hill too far.
Hill too far.
But yeah, today we're talking about 1977's war epic masterpiece, A Bridge Too Far, directed by Richard Attenborough.
This was fun, man. And we're not the only ones that think this was fun. If we go to Rotten Tomatoes here.
Yeah, cover that.
We're going to check our tomato meter here. We're at a 61%.
I disagree with that.
But the audience agreed with us. It gave it a 86%.
I agree more with that.
A lot of love there. This is based on over 25,000 plus ratings. So 86%, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think
same.
it was a great film. We'll get into it in a few.
We will
here.
do our ratings last for sure. Well, no, the wheel will be last. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Today's been a weird day.
Absolutely.
How's your day going, dude? We didn't even talk about that. How's your day?
It's good. You know,
Yeah.
I hung out. You know, I made some. I went to the doctors earlier. Everything's clean bill of health. That's good. Not too many free radicals.
Good.
And came home, made some shrimp tacos, and now we're podcasting.
Yum. I have some shrimp cocktail in my fridge. I should eat that.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
You should do some like shrimp tacos. They're so easy, and they're like you could do so much with them. Different spices. I marinate them in like a special like street taco sauce I bought at a market. It's really good and spicy. Marinate that for a little bit. Toss it on the frying pan. Get them all nice and crispy. Made some homemade guacamole. It's good. It was good.
Yum. That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a better meal than anybody in this movie has eaten.
Right? Oh man. Let's get into this, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That was the weirdest transition.
Do we see people eat in this movie? I don't remember.
We see Hopkins is given a bar of chocolate, but he doesn't eat it. We don't see him eat it.
That's right.
Alrighty, yeah. Let's get into this movie. A Bridge Too Far. Let's cover a little background on how we got to this. My dad spun the wheel for us, apparently.
Yeah, right.
And from Beyond the Grave, and said, Titus, I bought you this movie years ago. Why haven't you watched it? So, and now we've watched it, and we watched it together. Yet we're recording separately, as we said before. This is, I think, the first time we've done that.
Yeah, first time that we usually, if we watch together, we record right after.
Yeah, and usually it'll be the opposite. We'll watch it separately and record together.
Yeah.
Or some variation of that, but
or vice versa. Yeah.
But this is the first time we've watched it together and then given some time to marinate on it.
It is a 3-hour film. Not that we haven't done a 3-hour film before, but this is one that we really did come out of it saying, "Wow, this is really great." But we needed time to kind of like really think about it, and I think that was a good choice because now we're here and I'm ready to discuss. I have my notes here that I wrote down when I was with you. And
also, I'm sorry, real quick, I said that it's my father spun this from Beyond the Grave. Happy Father's Day. This episode comes out on Father's Day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is just, that's meant to be right there, man.
Right? Look at that.
That's meant to be. Happy Father's Day to all the, I feel like this is a good like
Happy Father's
dad
Day
movie. I feel like you should watch this with your dad. Like if you have your dad out there, man, go watch this awesome war movie.
This is definitely a dad movie. I wish I had watched this with my dad. I really did.
I felt like he was there with us.
For sure.
You have that picture of him up there in the living room, so I feel like he was watching down on us, saying, "Wow, man, this is great quality."
Right.
Man, the colors on this film.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Oh my God, what a great look! Because like, did you find a box for it anywhere? Because I was curious.
No. Because it's in my big movie binder, I guarantee that box has been disposed of.
I wonder if that was like a like remaster anniversary edition because it looked really clean.
Yeah, it
really
looked phenomenal. Good. Hopefully it was just a good, nicely upgraded transfer. It looked fantastic.
Really,
but yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in Connery Curious Listenderdom. Sorry to keep bouncing around. Listenderdom. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of dads out there because dads like Connery movies. So.
Yeah, Connery is a dad actor. I feel he's the guy
for sure. And you look at him and you call him daddy.
Oh yes, he's kind of daddy in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Anytime if you have Connery in a military outfit,
yeah,
it's there. I mean,
this is 2 films in a row.
Two in a row, we have Connery in a military outfit.
Yeah.
We were hoping that was the movie we were going to get was the one he filmed in the last movie. Technically, was
the Presidio.
What was it? Presidio.
Yeah.
So like that would have been if we get that next. There's foul play at effect here.
If I may, I think I'll put it out there into the universe. Universe, hear me on this one, okay? Please, universe.
Yes.
Oh, hello. It's me, the universe.
It's
Steven
me, the
Universe.
I am Sean Universe. do you have a question for me?
Yes, I do, Sean Universe.
Oh, you sound just like me.
I do. Look at that. Listen to that.
How weird.
Look at it on this non-video podcast.
Look. With your eyes.
But
Blink
yes, the new Indiana Jones film comes out soon.
Oh, it's very soon, yes.
Yes.
I was
So
in one of those.
Yeah, so was I.
Really?
Yes.
Who did you play?
I was the leader of the... I was the little child prince of the leader of the thuggy cult.
Oh my goodness! I played. I played one of the Grails.
Oh, the little cup?
Yes.
Oh, which one? The shiny one?
No, the less shiny one.
Oh, but not the Grail.
Not the Grail, no.
No, just a less shiny one, but still
Yes.
somewhat shiny.
I was a cup extra.
Ah, I like it. $12 a pound.
Yeah.
Anyway, universe. There comes
Yes.
a new Indiana Jones film.
Yes.
I think it would complete the Father's Day theme if we spun Last Crusade.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, I might use my veto for it later.
Ooh. Spoiler alert ahead.
Did somebody say they needed a favor from me?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
no, veto. You can go back to what you were doing. I said veto as in V-E-T-O, not V-I-T-O.
Oh.
Well, if you ever need a favor, you know where to reach your Don. Well, I think we all know where to reach the Don. He's Dylan's father. That's a pun. His name was Don.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Donald. If he was a mafia boss, would you call him Don Donald?
I would call him.
I wouldn't call him a cab.
Oh, this has gone on too far. A bridge too far.
20 minutes in, Mario.
20 minutes in.
Well,
Yes,
for all
but yeah,
you
let's-
Bridge Too Far heads out there, I'm
Oh, yes.
sorry.
If you guys have not hung up already, if you're just joining us,
Hang up the phone
as if this is.
and pay attention. Well, yeah. Let's get into it. A Bridge Too Far,
Let's get into the-
1977.
Do we have a nice wiki here?
Yes. All right. A Bridge Too Far is a 1977 epic war film depicting Operation Market Garden, a failed Allied operation in Nazi-occupied Netherlands during World War II. It's based on the nonfiction book of the same name by historian Cornelius Ryan, which is our second film and the second film to be based off a book by Ryan of World War II. We saw The Longest Day in 1962, so 15 years before was the first Cornelius Ryan book adaptation, and now this is the second on our list. Isn't that crazy that we got them in that order?
Yeah, seriously.
So this film is directed by Richard Attenborough, who I best know as John Hammond from Jurassic Park, but
Welcome to Jurassic Park. I
upon-
cosplayed as him recently.
did you really?
Yeah, I went to a. There's this awesome restaurant in Boston that do like these drag brunches, and they're so much fun. And they did a Jurassic Park themed one.
I saw the Mario Brothers one.
The Mario Brothers one
That
was
you
really
posted.
fun too. Yeah, we went to that one. That was like a month after, but the month before, I could do a different theme, the Jurassic Park, and I was like, I might as well cosplay as something. So I was like, I went as John Hammond. It was great. I had the whole fedora. Came in. I wish I had the cane. I just needed the cane. That would have completed the look, but
Do you have any pictures of it?
somewhere I gotta find it. I'm not sure where they are exactly. Welcome
Well-
to Jurassic. But I had no idea he directed this. This is really cool.
No, I did not. I mean, I knew, but I didn't really know until we started watching. And looking through his filmography, he has worked on some absolutely phenomenal stuff. As you said last episode, he is in this movie the lunatic wearing glasses.
Yes.
He plays Santa in Miracle on 34th Street in 1994. He's in The Great Escape. He's in Guns at Batazi, which was recommended to us.
Yes.
He is in the original Dr. Dolittle. He's in The Magic Christian with Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr. He's directed Gandhi and Chaplin and A Chorus Line. And these are the films, not the people. He didn't direct Charlie Chaplin. He didn't direct Gandhi Mahatma Gandhi as a human. He directed these films. He directed A Chorus Line, Cry Freedom, Shadowlands. I haven't heard a lot of these films, but
But yeah, I really want to see Gandhi and Chaplin. Oh, What a Lovely War is a British comedy musical film by Richard Attenborough, starring Maggie Smith,
Ooh.
John Gielgud, Laurence Olivier, Vanessa Redgrave, Michael Redgrave, Corin Redgrave, all the Redgraves. Huh. Anyway, The L-Shaped Room.
Oh, he's been at it for a while then. Jeez.
Yeah. He passed away in 2014. And one of his was it older? Younger brother, David Attenborough, you would know as the narrator of the life and the natural history and Planet Earth and Blue Planet series.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Hi. So yeah. Hello there.
Hello there.
No, it's okay. Say hello to the podcast people.
Hello, podcast people.
Oh my goodness,
How
a
are ya?
different voice. Hello.
That was my other voice. I'm capable of doing
You're
two
really-
voices, Sean Connery and Nicole.
You're really good at doing the Nicole voice. That was
Well,
impressive.
thank you. I've been practicing it. Anyway, so
Anyways.
let's talk about the cast in this movie.
Oh my God. So the biggest ones that we were really excited about were it's Connery again with
course.
Michael Caine.
Though never together,
Never together, but it's
which
it's
is
funny.
disappointing.
But it was like great because you had like three. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Alicia.
Alicia, do you want to say hi to the podcast?
Yeah, no, say hi.
No, come say hi. Come say hi. Nicole just came in and said hi to the podcast, so you gotta come say hi.
Yeah, you have to.
Just yell it.
Hi, podcast.
There it is.
Hey.
See, I'm good at
Hi,
doing.
Alicia.
See, I can do girl voices too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just my I forgot my Lipton in the other room. So yeah, I like how they had.
Don't
so
give me
there's
no Lipton.
no, don't give me no Lipton. In this movie, there's really three groups you're kind of looking at here, and each one
More
was
than
led.
that.
Yeah, I guess there's more than that, but like there are like
A
three of
handful
them
groups for sure.
Yeah, but three of them, like one is led by Connery, one by Caine, and then
One
one
by
by
Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
And one by Ryan O'Neal, and
And
one
O'Neal.
by Robert Redford,
That's right. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
so every
and
big
one by
actor,
Elliot Gould.
Is there one with them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so like
yeah, there's a lot
so,
of little divisions.
so yeah, so every actor you really wanted together had their own like squad. they
And
had
one
to,
by
like,
Gene
worry
Hackman.
about.
Gene Hackman has the Polish squad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So a lot of squads. So unfortunately, everyone is all separated. Unfortunately, but still made for. I was hoping they were going to get together at the end, just to
It would have been so nice to see them together. I'm sure they would have liked that too. But I honestly don't think they worked one day together on this film.
Yeah, I've looked at like behind the scenes shots, and there's nothing of them together, unfortunately. So
The sets that they're on aren't even remotely close to each other, like location wise. It seems.
oh yeah.
I can't say that with any definitive answer, but that's what it seems. It seems like they're all far from each other.
But yeah, everyone's fantastic in this. Super exciting. Michael Caine looks like $1 million. The
He
mustache.
looks mean in
Our
this movie.
our first time seeing him in a mustache, maybe.
Does he have a mustache in this?
Yeah. Yeah, a nice little drawn-on mustache.
Oh, yes, he does.
Kind of slightly. Kind of looked like.
You forget because there's just so many people in this movie.
Yeah. But it was very reminiscent to me of Richard Harris in another film we saw.
Yes, Molly
of,
Maguire.
Molly Maguire's.
He does very much look like that. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, imagine him in this movie too. Oh man, that would have
Yeah,
been
that- honestly,
too
that's
much
who-
star
that's-
power.
That's who they were missing was Richard Harris.
Oh yeah, and then that would have been too good.
Mm.
But yeah, man, let's get into this plot.
Yeah. I think for this one, given the way everyone's kind of separated, I think want to go paragraph by paragraph with this thing, where I take a paragraph, you take a paragraph.
Sure. Which one are you looking at? Wikipedia?
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess we'll do the trailer line like we normally do. So let's see.
Operation Market Garden, September 1944. The Allies attempt to capture several strategically important bridges in the Netherlands in the hope of breaking the German lines.
Okay. So now we'll go to Wikipedia. Yes.
All right.
You want to start? You want me to start?
You start the first paragraph. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs.
Nice. Alrighty. Operation Market Garden envisages 35,000 men being flown 300 miles from air bases in England and dropped behind enemy lines in the Netherlands. 2 divisions of U.S. paratroopers are responsible for securing the road and bridges as far as Nijmegen, right? Am I saying that right?
That sounds about right.
Nijmegen? Let me hear it. Nijmegen. There we go. That's how Wikipedia says to pronounce it. All right. 2 divisions of U.S. paratroopers are responsible for securing the road and bridges as far as Nijmegen. I'm already messing it up. Poirot.
Poirot.
A British division under Major General Roy Urquhart, Sean Connery, is to land near Arnhem and hold both sides of the bridge there, backed by a brigade of Polish paratroopers under General Stanislaw Sosabowski, played by Gene Hackman. 30 Armored Corps, which is the name, 30 Armored Corps, 30 Corps, are to push up the road over the bridges captured by the American paratroopers and reach Arnhem 2 days after the drop. You want to take it?
All right. As General Urquhart briefs his officers, some of them are surprised they are going to attempt a landing so far from their objective, since the distance from their landing zone to the bridge will render their portable radios useless. Although the consensus is that let me start over again. Although the consensus is that the resistance will consist entirely of inexperienced old men and Hitler youth, reconnaissance photos show that presence of German tanks at Arnhem. Arnhem, there we go. Arkham Asylum. General Browning, nevertheless, dismisses the photos and also ignores reports from the Dutch underground, believing the operation will be successful regardless.
That bastard. So, that is Dick Bogard as Lieutenant Browning. What else have we seen him in, if anything? Just taking a look at his filmography. Oh, he's in Oh, What a Lovely War.
Oh.
So if we watch that, he's the same year, in 1977, he's in a film called Providence, a French-Swiss film. And in 1986, he's in a film called May We Borrow Your Husband?
Ooh.
And his final film is Daddy Nostalgia. Huh. Anyway.
Seems to be a theme here. Happy Father's Day again, guys.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Good Lord, Dad. You're showing up in all the spots. But yeah, that guy is a real bastard. The way he just brushes off the fact that there is clearly so much wrong with this. Oof. All right, well, let's get into our notes.
Let's do it.
You want to start?
Sure. My first note is at 11 minutes and 32 seconds, Connery appears. He's leaning on a mantelpiece, looking very suave, and his first lines are, "And when?"
And when? And how? Why is Gamora?
I'll give you one better. Who is Sean Connery?
Why is Sean Connery?
Why is Sean Connery?
My first note is, hold these titles still, damn it.
Oh, right. They were so shaky.
The titles, I felt like I was, like, nauseous with how much they were jerking around.
It's like somebody was like... It's like somebody was putting slides on an overhead projector and then jerking around next to it. And it was just shaking.
Well, there's the scene earlier where the guy is showing Browning the pictures of the tanks. He's like, I'm sorry, the usual projectionist is out. That guy was running the titles.
It's got to be him. After that, he said, I'm out of here.
Oh, my next note is Harry Potter. Because he's the first character we really see in this movie. He's played by Eric Vant Wout. Eric Vant Wout. But what will he do? He Vant do this, he Vant do that. He won't do anything around here. All right, I'm son. Oh, happy Father's Day. I'm sorry, Eric Vant Wout. I didn't mean
Apparently
to make fun of your name.
he's a director.
Is he really?
He just directed something in 2020 called Die Bitterball. Die Bitterball.
The Butterball?
So he looks like he's definitely a European film director, it seems. A lot of European films.
Hashtag Me Too short.
Oh.
Dr. Dean. The co-assistant. Blow, blow. I'm just making noises. Zebra, a TV series where he was the director. Willie and Nellie, the director of that TV series. Anyway, so he was good in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a badass little spy, getting stuff done.
How terrifying. We were just talking about bikes.
Oh, that scene where he's on the bike
Him
and
on
the
the
plane
bike?
goes overhead?
And you see it fly over, and that's a cool shot, and I'm in itself.
You think he's going to get shot.
But it turns around, and I'm like, both of us were like, oh no, is he gonna die? Is he gonna get shot up? And
it was just that plane taking the pictures.
Yeah.
And that's when he sees that there's tanks there. Oh, so we see through Eric Vant Wout that there are tanks in the trees, and we don't know that plane is just taking pictures, and then it turns out to be the projection scene later on. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Even the shot, because you see that actual shot, you see him on the bike in the picture. So I guess
Did he really?
Yeah, if you look back at the actual slide, so I'm thinking that plane actually did take a picture, because unless they because you see him, because that's how I figured out it was that same scene, because you see him on the bike turned around looking at the plane, and it was it was a really cool shot. So I guess that plane really did take a picture, when they shot the film, I guess, or maybe they did a secondary thing afterwards. But I was like, wow, that was a really good shot.
What else you got? What do you got for notes?
Let's see. I'm kind of jumped around here because I really enjoyed this, man. Spoiler alert, I really enjoyed it. So I did feel like I was watching it more than forgetting to take notes. I thought Operation Thunderclap Surprise was kind of fun.
Which one was that?
I think at the beginning when they're talking about when they first meet Connery, they talk about Operation Thunderclap Surprise. And I thought Operation Grand Slam. We'll talk a little more Connery. We see Connery golfing again.
Yes.
Always golfing.
Though I think he's just taking a practice swing. We don't actually see him golf.
Yeah, I think he's just messing around because, a lot of these guys, man, Anthony Hopkins' character too, he's always, he's just where's my dinner jacket?
And
Where's
my horn?
He needs his little horn. He had his little things. There's war going on, and all he cares about is his his little gizmos and gadgets.
I like how that line where he said, pack my dinner jacket, and his assistant goes, do you think we'll need that, sir? And he goes, I hope so.
Yeah, right.
Like, I hope there's an opportunity for us to just have a nice meal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was hoping for him to put it on too.
Oh.
But,
Excuse me.
what do you have?
My next note is I don't like Ryan O'Neal. He's good in this movie, but I don't really like him. Is that like? And then I knew there was a reason why I didn't like him, and let me discuss a little bit of that. So Ryan O'Neal, I couldn't remember the exact thing, but so I had to look it up. So this is just going off Wikipedia, but you know, I guess this has been reported for years. For several years, O'Neal was estranged from his elder 3 children. In her autobiography, A Paper Life, Tatum O'Neal wrote that she had suffered physical and emotional abuse as a result of her father's drug abuse. Griffin O'Neal also suggested their family's problems stemmed from Ryan. My father gave me cocaine when I was 11 and insisted I take it. In 2007, Ryan O'Neal was arrested for shooting at his son Griffin, which he claimed was in self-defense. O'Neal refused to allow Griffin to attend Farrah Fawcett's funeral in 2009. He infamously hit on Tatum O'Neal at Farrah Fawcett's funeral, not recognizing her as his daughter.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had remembered hearing things about this. I didn't know exactly, and it a little disconcerting. And I think that's why it must have. I must have already I had that in my brain, and it prevented me from really enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He did his own parachute jump.
Can we talk about that parachute sequence?
Yeah. Do we want to get to it It's 2 paragraphs down if we keep going.
Yeah, go ahead. Take the next paragraph here.
The Arnhem Bridge is the prime target since it serves as the last means of escape for the German forces in the Netherlands and a direct route to Germany for the Allies. However, the road to it is only a single lane linking the various key bridges, and vehicles have to squeeze onto the verge to pass. The road is also elevated, causing anything moving along it to stand out. Though the airborne drops catch the enemy by surprise and encounter little resistance, the Sun Bridge is demolished by the Germans just before it can be secured. Furthermore, troubles beset Urquhart's division, since many of the jeeps do not arrive or are destroyed in an ambush, in addition to their non-functional radio sets. All right, so that gets us to the drop. What a sequence!
It was the drop sequence, and I think later on we get to. Is that later? Or it must be. Yeah, it's before we get the plane sequence.
Of everyone loading into the planes and the planes taking off with the gliders behind them. Oh,
it was just so relaxing, and I could have used like another 10 minutes of that.
Fall asleep, take a nap.
Everyone else watching it, we were just so stunned at like how cool it was, and like how when they're towing the glider, I'm like, wait, they're pulling that plane? How's that working?
We didn't realize that it was a glider.
I'm like, they're just gliders, and they're just like, it was such a cool sequence. It's awesome cinematography, and like, yeah, I was stunned by that. So that was awesome. And then
it took us a couple of minutes to realize that a lot of the shots were, the shots like duplicated in the same frame.
Yeah,
because it was when all the paratroopers started jumping out. That's when we noticed, like, oh, look, at the left side is pretty much the same as the right side. It's just off a second.
Yeah, same thing with the planes. You could see that big split in the sky.
Yeah,
where they kind of copied, pasted everything there. But still,
It was a
if
gorgeous
you didn't notice,
sequence.
yeah, if you didn't notice that, like we just noticed that because we went to school for film stuff, and we kind of noticed little things like that.
And also, I think it dwells on it long enough that you start to find the seams. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you stare at something long enough,
You're
and
like, wait a minute,
it is
this
a
looks-
long sequence. I think every single thing in this movie could be cut down at 5 to 25%.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd want to see this as a 2.25 hour movie,
yeah.
because I think you could cut it down to that and not lose any of the majesty.
Mm.
So
But this is one of the best parachute sequences I've ever seen.
it's phenomenal.
Like, it was great because you could obviously tell half dummies, but they mixed
Some
in.
of them are whipping around like crazy.
Yeah, right. Just like
Just solid wood bodies.
but mixed in with actual people, and like it was really.
Might as well just have
really cool.
logs
Yeah.
from the parachutes.
Well, I think we said this while we watched it. Why didn't they just do what they did in Longest Day and just send off a bunch of mannequins
Right.
and then send off a bunch of people? Then you could really confuse everybody.
Because the Polish troop just gets massacred as
Yeah.
they land, which is what Hackman is wanting to avoid. He was good. What do you think of Hackman?
Hackman's really good. Really good. Really
Yeah.
cool to see a young Gene Hackman in a film. It was dope.
He's not that young in it. He's in his 40s, I think. But
Well, from the Hackman I know, it's just like I've always, as of late, I've always seen like him like older, and it's just like he's like 40.
well, this is
something in
after
but-
Superman.
Is it really?
Yeah, Superman was 74.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Shit.
I think so.
Let me see. Superman, the first one, Superman 2?
Yeah.
Oh no, Superman.
Superman 78. Okay, I'm sorry, 78. My bad. So this was right before it. Huh. Look at that. My
Huh.
bad. All right. Yeah, that paratrooper sequence is awesome. All of them are, because there's 3. The first
Yeah.
one's the most majestic. The second one is kind of just there, and then the third one is from Hackman's perspective, and
Yeah.
it's a massacre. Yeah. What else do I have? My next note is when Sean Connery is briefing his troops, and he's got a bunch of people there, and he's explaining the plan of how they're going to fly this way and do this and whatnot. I wanted it to cut to Luke and go, that's no different from, I used to bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back home.
Oh yes, many Bothans died to get this information.
Hey, hold on. Slow down now. That's not for 2 more movies. We've got the first Death Star to blow up.
You're
and
saying
then
there's
you
two-
go, first Death Star? World War I? But yeah, there was at least 3 scenes in the movie where it's a general explaining the plans, and I just wanted to cut Luke into all of those scenes. Talking about how it's not unlike his T-16 back home.
Speaking of fandom vehicles, I love that Michael Caine drove around in a mini Batmobile.
Yes, that was so awesome.
Like, it looked
And-
just like the Tumbler from Batman Begins.
And if you listen back to the last episode, we started off with that Unforgiven, like making fun of the Unforgiven by Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
And we quickly get onto a Michael Caine riff. And then it's like, does it come in black? Fade to black. Yeah, he is basically driving the Tumbler.
It's like if it's
Tiny
like,
Tumbler.
It's like one of those kart racers, like Mario Kart.
Yes.
Like, you know how they'll have like a mini version of the car, and
yeah,
it's like,
but the person is the same size.
yeah, so
Like
they
they're
put
just driving a tiny car,
so it's Alfred driving the Batmobile.
a tiny Batmobile, and you
It's,
see Batman in another one.
yeah, yeah, it's like
Except he's on the little motorcycle, and it's just a tiny little trike, like a clown.
that's really tiny. So yeah, Michael Caine. Since we're on the subject, he was awesome in this.
let's see what Joe stands for. We were asking
Yeah,
that. He plays
was...
Lieutenant Colonel Joe Vandeleur. John Ormsby Evelyn Vandeleur.
Oh.
John Ormsby Evelyn. Joe. I like that.
Oh, good. There's a picture. If you click on his character's name, there's a picture of him in the mini Batmobile, which is great.
Oh, wait a second. I did not. Where? Which one? Oh, yeah, huh? Look at that.
It's like the fourth picture in him in the parade. The mini Batmobile.
So awesome.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, the crowds that were in this movie too. Another movie full of crowds.
Yeah,
They were good in that. They were good at that in the 70s, man.
Do you
This is like
think? Do you think they had the same extras in each parade? Because there's two like parades.
Probably.
Because like there's two, but two huge different locations. So it's kind of like, you know.
I mean, I bet those locations were probably close to each other relatively, but or you just made a open casting call to every extra that's in the area. But I'm willing to bet it was the same people, just reshuffled in a different order.
There's one guy. He's like the biggest Metallica fan. He follows the band to every single town, and there's one guy that's following Michael Caine to every single town. Oh, I see you at 2 other towns ago. I'll follow you forever, man.
I have a cousin, his wife, and he follow Iron Maiden pretty religiously.
Really?
Across the world.
Oh my God.
Like they'll go to England regularly to see them, and then go to other places just because it's a vacation destination, and then Iron Maiden will be there too.
That's dedication, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Anyway, cool stuff. What else do we have? I like the Walls Have Ears poster, heart.
Oh, yep.
Also, during that scene, the walls have ears. Did you get the implication that those two characters were supposed to be gay? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
What they're talking about, like the tea and stuff?
Yeah, they're just calmly talking to each other, and not like they're giving off any huge, like, signs, but it's more the vibes. Like, both of them are very feminine and soft-mannered, and unlike every other person we see in the movie, that's not like they're macho bravado or anything, but they're at least, like, what you think of when you think of World War II soldier.
I just kind of just took it as it was a real British off. I think they were just kind of like trying to show off. I think they're trying to establish how different they all are. Like the Americans, we see Sonny from Godfather show up.
Oh, let's talk about James Caan.
James Caan, he looked like $1 million, but yeah. So like, I feel like they're establishing how different.
About my boy.
Oh no, the Don's back.
It's me, Don.
Someone massacred my boy. Well, they massacred my boy.
Except this time, he almost did the massacring of
Yeah,
a doctor.
right.
Sorry, what were you saying? You continue.
But yeah, I
Go
think,
away, Don Vito. Okay, I'll just go. I'll just listen to you, you poor piece of shit.
yeah, I think that scene was like establishing how different each army was, or with that whatever. But I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll never know, I guess. But yeah, I guess you could take it that way if you want to.
What?
You were kind of assuming like maybe they were like gay or something, but like I didn't catch that. Maybe my gator was off. I'm not sure, but
it wasn't like it wasn't super obvious in the scene. It was just something that stuck out to me. I'm like, these are like the most emotionally open characters in this movie thus far, and they're, I don't know, it felt like it was setting up a small, okay, you remember that scene in The Hill where it's
that's
like
right.
there's like a slight,
that was more obvious.
Yeah, where he's like, we had a queer in here a couple of weeks back. He's like, I'm not a queer. He's like, I know you're not, but you know, sometimes you do what you do to stay alive or whatever. And it doesn't go there, but the scene's like, is this scene going there? So I don't know. I kind of got the same vibe from this scene.
Fair enough.
It ultimately nothing came of it. I don't think we saw either of those characters.
Oh
again,
yeah,
but maybe
never
I'm
again.
wrong. So, but yeah, literally my next note is Con Hart. So let's talk about Con. How he always has a cigarette in his mouth.
Yep.
His first scene of his, his bunkmate there just begging, like, please tell me that we're going to survive. Please tell me I'm going to survive this. Like, that was a really good scene. And not once does the cigarette, like, leave the corner of Con's mouth.
Yeah. He's like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. He was just like always with that. This is how many years before or after Godfather?
I believe Godfather is 74.
'Cause he looks just like how he did in Godfather. So I was just curious.
Nope, Godfather 2 is 74. Godfather is 72.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. So 72. And then he's in Godfather 2 at the end.
So,
He got paid as much for Godfather 2 for that one scene as he did for Godfather 1.
really?
Yep.
Wow.
Same thing with Michael Biehn in Aliens. For Alien 3, he got paid as much as he did for Aliens, and he's dead in that movie.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Shit, man.
Anyway. But yeah, Con is great in this, and his... do we get to... does it cover the doctor scene here in...
Doctor scene is tense.
It's in a tent. It's intense. Literally, the doctor scene is intense.
It is intense.
Yeah, that might have been my favorite segment of the movie, is Con's story. It doesn't connect to anybody else. It's just him rescuing his friend who was shot in the head and survived. And he holds the doctor hostage and basically makes him operate. What a good scene. And the way the doctor leads him out to be arrested. All right, I want you to arrest this man and count to 10. What? Yep, count to 10. And do it quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent, let's go.
Yeah, that was really
Right.
classy.
That was a really good scene. Would you have really shot me? And Con just doesn't answer. Like, oof. All right, let's continue through the plot here.
Let's do it.
Meanwhile, 30 Corps' progress is slowed by German resistance, the narrowness of the road, and the need to construct a Bailey Bridge to replace the one destroyed at Sun. They are then halted at... Let me do it one more time. No, I'm going to get this right, damn it. Nijmegen. Okay.
You should just record yourself saying it and then insert it in.
All right. They are then halted at Nijmegen, where soldiers of the 82nd Airborne Division perform a dangerous daylight river crossing to capture the Nijmegen Bridge, and 30 Corps is further delayed waiting for infantry waiting for infants to secure the town. Well, don't whine about it. Wah. You continue. You see how easy it is.
The Germans close in on the isolated British paratroopers occupying part of Arnhem at the bridge.
Arnhem.
This is hard. Holy
Poirot.
shit. Poirot. Although Sosabowski's troops finally arrive after being delayed in England, they are ultimately too late to reinforce the British. After days of intense fighting against SS infantry and panzers, the outgunned troops are eventually either captured or forced to withdraw to Oosterbeek. Urquhart receives orders to retreat while the other Allied commanders blame the various difficulties encountered to their failure to provide the needed support.
Urquhart escapes with less than a fifth of his original 10,000 troops, while those who are too badly injured to flee stay behind to cover the withdrawal. On arrival at British headquarters, Urquhart confronts Browning about his personal sentiments regarding the operation, and the latter contradicts his earlier optimism regarding it.
I think we should come together and read this last one together at the same time.
Okay. Well, we're on Zoom, so we'll see.
Let's see what happens.
We may have to mute each other.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah, I'll take my headphones off and I'll try to read it.
All right.
All right,
Let's
ready?
do it. Let's do it. Hold on.
Give me a hand to count down.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back in Oosterbeek, Kate der Horst,
whose home has been covered.
I gotta start over.
Wait,
I gotta start over.
Let's start over. Okay. 5. Are we still doing it this way?
Yeah.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back in Oosterbeek, Kate der Horst, whose home is converted into a makeshift hospital for the British, abandons its ruins. Passing through the front yard, now a graveyard for fallen troops, she and her children leave with an elderly doctor, pulling a possessions in a cart, while wounded British troops sing "Abide with Me" as they await capture.
Troops sing "Abide with Me" as they await capture.
I finished it before you. I finished it like 5 seconds before you.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a little mark here. I'm gonna split that onto different channels. You want to be on the right or the left?
I'll be on the right.
Okay. Did you listen to the Woman of Straw episode?
Not yet, no.
Listen to it when we split up there. It was fun.
Oh, I gotta see that. Hear that. Sorry. All right, so that's all the plots. So I guess it's digging to our notes. I don't have too much here.
Yeah, I don't have all that much left.
So
I mean, I do have a lot, but
yeah. So I think I'll just kind of go through mine here. Mine are kind of just fun stuff here. Alfred with the mini Batmobile. Hopkins with the horn. You could put like any kind of fun horn song in there, like Careless Whisper or something.
Or
I didn't hear it. You muted.
Oh, damn it, Zoom!
I thought you just wanted it to be silence.
That would be funny too. But I just made a fart noise.
Aw.
Hold on, let me see if it'll pick up.
No, it doesn't pick up.
What the fuck, Zoom? Zoom's audio compression.
Our bits are being censored by Zoom. This is ridiculous.
It'll come through in the edit. But
well, there you go.
Hold on, let me see. Fuck. Did you hear that?
I heard that. Heard fuck.
Okay.
No, I can't hear that.
What the heck?
Okay, if I do it, do you hear it?
Do it again? No! What the fuck? What Zoom? What do you have against farts?
Come on, Zoom. That's where we get all our that's where we get all our entertainment was fart jokes.
Oh my god.
But okay.
So, all right, for context, people listening to the podcast will hear the farts, but we didn't hear the farts because we're on
so
Zoom.
enjoy them because we won't be able to see it.
Well, back to Facebook Messenger for us, I guess.
Yeah, right. So Hopkins with the horns, great. How crazy was that Jurassic Park color Jeep?
That was so cool.
It was just so out of place. It was like, why is it like? It was literally the same colors. I think we'll have to get a picture of it for Instagram so you guys know what we're talking about.
I have a note. Caine with headphones on. You could also put any music to that.
I said Michael Caine Star-Lord. I want to have like
right.
Come and get your love or something. He's coming down the Jeep.
Come and get your guns.
When we see the crazy people escaping the institute,
that must have been who Richard Attenborough was.
Oh yeah, it must have been one of those guys because it was the guy doing the mind tricks. He looked like he was doing like Jedi mind trick. I think he was saluting, but it looked like he was doing like a mind. But it looked like he was doing a mind trick or something. He's trying to like lift up a tank with his mind or something.
Quick, get these people into the army. We need them to win the war.
Oh, we gotta go back and watch that scene because I want to see if we actually see him. He must have been that guy.
I'll look it up on the IMDb. You continue.
So other than that, oh, I didn't understand this Sean Connery line when he says, "I've come back with less than 2." When he comes back to like the office or whatever,
less than 2,000
HQ. But the way he delivered it was, "I came back with less than 2." And I thought that was really funny because like that would be 1. Sean. Or maybe 0. I've come back with less than 2. And that's all I really have for notes, man. I
Well, I have 1.5 men.
Yeah. I have 1.5 men. He doesn't have legs. He's just like a guy with no legs.
It's not. No, it is the legs. It's a full man, and then just a pair of legs that are sentient and walking around, not missing the top half whatsoever. And like when the regular guy salutes, the pair of legs like lifts one of its legs up above the waist.
Or either that, or it's Minnie Oates from the last movie. Remember Minnie Oates?
Oh, yep, Minnie Oates Richie.
Oh yeah, you said Lionel Richie. I said he looked like Oates.
Oates Richie is his cantina name.
Oates Richie. That's right, Oates Richie.
Ooh, Oates Richie.
All right, man, what do you have left in your notes?
Was that it for your notes?
Yeah, that's all I really had, man.
Okay.
I really thoroughly enjoyed this film, so I was kind of like distracted.
Seems the more we enjoy a film, the less notes we take. I'm watching the parachute sequence in the IMDb trailer right now. It's just
Oh yeah,
chilling on the page.
I had that open too. And like that's that is like most of the trailer. And same and while we're waiting to get ready, we had the DVD menu up, and that's like one of the biggest showcases is that plane scene, that paratrooper scene. So that's like really, that must have been like their big budget was in that scene, man.
And as I'm looking through the trivia. We had said before that all of these real generals were brought on as consultants on the film.
Which is really dope.
Yeah. Now I'm just reading through the IMDb trivia here that it's Dirk, not Dick. I'm sorry. Sir Dirk Bogarde's portrayal of General Browning was highly controversial, and several friends of the late general suggested that had Browning been alive in 1977, he would have sued the director, Richard Attenborough, and screenwriter William Goldman for libel.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Look how cool
And
this is. Continue.
Bogard took issue with the portrayal, having known Browning personally, as he was a member of Field Marshal Bernard L. Montgomery's staff during the war. Although Attenborough took responsibility publicly for the controversy, his relationship with Bogard was never the same again. Browning's son said he believed his father was made the fall guy for the failure of Operation Market Garden in the film because the producers knew there would have been too much flack if they went after Montgomery. Anyway, sorry, continue.
So, trivia I had up, too. Sir Michael Caine's scripted line to order the column of tanks and armored cars into battle was, "Forward, go, charge." Luckily for Caine, Lieutenant Colonel Joe Vandeleur was on set, so he could ask him what the actual line was. Vandeleur told him, "I just said quietly into the microphone, 'We'll get a move on then,' which is what Caine says in the movie.
Damn.
So that's really cool. It's very reminiscent of Tropic Thunder, if you remember seeing that, when they had Ben Stiller. He was playing Nick Nolte's character, and he leaned over. He's like, "Is that what you really said?" He's like, "No, not at all." You know. So I wonder if they kind of took that from this a little bit. Like, I wonder if there's
I
other.
haven't watched Tropic Thunder in years. I need to rewatch that.
For fun, let's watch it together. It's really
I'm down.
funny.
I'm down.
It's such a funny movie. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant movie.
I've seen it. I own it on Blu-ray.
I
just haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah, me either. So I think we gotta watch it because I know Robert Downey Jr. gets flack for it nowadays, but it's so.
No,
brilliant.
I think. Granted, I'm not a member of the African American community, but I think they've embraced him for that.
Have they?
I think he's.
A few people
I think
are
everyone knew. I think everyone knows like he's doing a thing.
Yeah, like that's hilarious.
He's not doing blackface.
Yeah,
He is making fun. He's making a character that is an idiot.
like the
and is
reveal.
so
Yeah, the
vain and
reveal
obsessed
of
with
him
himself.
being like Australian at the end, and it's like,
Yeah.
But it's funny. So do you know how like in the movie, we're kind of going off. Who cares? It's kind of
That's
curious.
okay.
We always go off. When he says, "I don't break characters. I do the DVD commentary."
Yes.
Listen to the commentary.
He's in character as Lazarus.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in character. We should watch it with the commentary on. I never heard it. I never heard the whole commentary,
God.
but it's hilarious. It's
Yeah,
genius.
that's such a good movie.
It's a genius movie. But
I don't think I've watched it since like 2010.
same
Came out in like
probably.
2007, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I think I watched it like probably in college. Like the last time I saw it, maybe a little after that. I have it.
2008.
Yeah, so I have it. I have it here on my computer somewhere. So hell, I can watch it whenever. But yeah. Any Hoosers.
And Richard Attenborough had only one shot for the paratrooper sequence. So he had 19 cameras rolling during the drop.
Yeah, like I love those shots
19.
of them, like people parachuting, and like they're holding the camera. You can hear them breathing.
That was awesome.
Like
I think it was done
man.
afterwards. Feels like it was sound added afterwards.
You think so? I was wondering
yeah,
that.
I think so. But either way, getting those point of view shots as they get tangled up in the parachute. Wow, so cool.
So cool.
Yeah. What else do I have for notes? Oh, so I was listening to, just at work, just to pass some time, I was listening to the audio commentary of Apocalypse Now. And from Francis Ford Coppola. It's his commentary. And it just really made me think about this movie, which was only 2 years before. But, like, there is as much effort put into this as real war. Like, and people are really getting hurt. Like, we see people blow up. Not actually blow up, but, like, they're damn close to real explosions. Like, it's... People can knock CGI all you want, but, like... Would you rather have someone, be at a computer for too long during the day, or actually risk being blown up in a field for a movie? Like, it's awesome to see on screen, but then when you think, like, how many extras just went home with broken ribs and shit?
Yeah, right.
And
how much were they being
just
paid?
It was just part of the job. You just did it. I really like the Michael Caine line. We don't want to get there too early. I forget it exactly, but just in the nick of time would be right.
Oh,
Something along those lines.
Giles, remember what the general said. We're the cavalry. It would be bad form to arrive in advance of schedule. In the nick of time would do nicely.
I really enjoy how this film is just a big old series of confusions. It's just so, like, the confusion about the tanks and the trees, which actually comes down to ego. I really love the confusion when... Why would they attack the bridge? There's nothing important here. Me! I'm important! Like, and then ultimately the guy who finds the crashed plane with the plans for Operation Market Garden, and he brings it to his superiors, and his superiors are like, this is clearly fake. This is what they want us to find so that we do the opposite of it or something. You know what I mean?
Genius.
Brilliant.
Oh.
And I'm willing to bet is what happened in real life. Like, that's... I have not read up on Operation Market Garden, but I'm actually very interested to do so now.
Yeah, right?
My next note is the wrong camo joke we made. Anthony Hopkins and his team are in basically a town square wearing field camo with, like, bushes and twigs sticking up out of it.
It looked like a Call of Duty match.
Exactly. And Hopkins goes, I think we're in the wrong camo. And then he knocks on a door, and you and I both made the joke as the door opens that the guy goes, there's no one here.
Yeah. And they're like thrashing the house and like flipping over to the, oh my, there's a ghost in here. He's like, he doesn't see anybody.
Papa, who's doing this to our house?
I don't
know.
Quick,
Ghosts.
pack your things. We need to get out of here. It's haunted.
And that later happens where the old woman packs her things and she wants to get out, calls for a taxi, and is ultimately shot to death in the streets. That was heartbreaking.
Oh my God, where are you gonna get a taxi, lady? Like, Jesus.
You brought up the Mike Myers clip on Kimmel or whatever.
Colbert. Yeah.
Colbert, where he's wearing bridge too far, military outfit holding the umbrella.
Yeah, we get that scene, but like he definitely didn't.
He didn't say there's 2 tanks.
Yeah, I think he just that was
He
assumed.
doesn't say anything.
because he puts it down and he like feels for it, I guess, and I guess
Yeah.
that's what it's assumed it's happening.
But
yeah.
he just like hand signals that it's okay to go.
Yeah, and then there's like the whole at the end. He has like the. He definitely paraphrased that too, where it's like, when he died, it's like, why do you have a bloody umbrella? And it was like,
Because I could never remember the password, and
Yeah.
no, and only English people would always carry an umbrella.
yeah. So we'll share that clip with you guys on the social so you get what we're talking about. But I thought that was funny because like, I remember seeing that live. Like I love Mike Myers. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, curious to see what that movie is. And when I saw it was on the list of movies for us when we started this podcast, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to actually understand that reference. And so now I get
Though it ultimately wasn't what we thought it'd be.
it. Yeah, but
But I wrote that he looks like Chris Maloney.
I can see it.
Didn't he look like Chris Maloney?
I can see it. Yeah.
My next note: tank parade. During the tank parade, and everyone's just going crazy about Michael Caine and everyone and like the Allies coming in to save them. I wanted it to cut to Ferris Bueller singing "Twist and Shout." The James Caan scene in the tent with the doctor.
Dope.
Awesome scene, 10 out of 10.
I love the scene with him in the Jeep.
Yes, I was just about to say the build up to that. Him getting his friend and just having to stay quiet in the woods as all the Nazis start to, the German troops, start to pour in.
Yeah, and he's like, "What do I do?" And like, how's he gonna get out of this? And because he has to turn that engine on. If he turns it on, I'm gonna hear him. And he just I was a little taken out of it because it was very reminiscent. Here's our James Bond connection. It was very reminiscent of Goldfinger when he's escaping in a DB5, before the ejector scene happens.
Yeah.
And they're shooting at him, and obviously, bulletproof screen. They're shooting at James Caan. He has no, windshield in front of him. He should have been shot immediately. Like, these guys were I made a joke that they were like stormtroopers. They actually were stormtroopers. But they were like Star Wars stormtroopers. They were missing every shot. And I was kind of like, come on, man. There's no way you would have.
And he's driving right towards them, too.
Yeah, it's like,
plenty of opportunity to get
it's
shots
like,
off.
there's no way. You have, no protection there. But
I would have fired a gun in 10 years, and I probably could have hit him.
Yeah, I mean, geez, something, threw a rock at him, anything.
Right.
Come on. You could have, clotheslined him or something. He would have fell off the Jeep, It's like...
It was an open-top Jeep.
Yeah, so, it was just very... That's the only thing that kind of, took me out of that sequence of kind of come on, man. You could have landed a shot on him, but you got to look like a cool action hero there, and it was really cool.
The scene where Private Marsh is killed trying to retrieve a supply canister that was actually full of Maroon Berets was based on a real event. But the actual
that was
paratrooper,
suppressing.
Corporal Johnny Johnson. Why would you do that to your kid?
Come on, John.
I get his suicidal mindset now. It's like, well, I'm gonna go out and get it. Worst case, I die, and I don't have to live with the name Johnny Johnson anymore.
Good old Johnny.
But anyway,
Johnson.
Corporal Johnny Johnson survived unharmed, but in Cornelius Ryan's original book was described as rather irate and frustrated at risking his life for what turned out to be such a futile errand.
Ugh. Yeah, that was annoying. Why would you drop a bunch of hats? It's I understand as a uniform thing, but of all things.
Right? Carlyle, the British officer, that's who the umbrella wielder was. Carlyle was based on Major Digby Tatham Water. Digby Tatham Water, who survived the battle. Anyway, just reading through the IMDb notes here. What else do I have in my own notes? I really like how Gould just has a cigar the whole time.
Yep.
At no point does he accidentally spit it out or swallow it.
He puts it out, takes another one up.
Drop of a hat, death? What's that note?
Drop of a hat, death?
Yeah. Does somebody drop a hat and die? I don't.
I don't remember. What was your note before it?
Gould cigar.
I don't remember. I don't know what that's referring to.
Drop of a hat. Death.
Oh, probably the canister of hats.
Yes. Yep. There we go. Thank you.
There
the
it
drop
is.
of the hats.
There it is.
Taxi. The taxi note. All right. Now we get to Robert Redford, way late in the game. Welcome back to Redford Curious. Redford Rurious. I really like Robert Redford in this.
He's really good.
He's so gorgeous. Robert Redford is so fucking handsome. Like, and he is, I think, probably my favorite of all of the troop leading actors besides Connery.
Okay.
Because he's just like a madman. He just and his he's basically asked to go on a suicide mission. And they're riding in these rubber boats. And
those boats, they put them together and all that, man.
It was every single scene with him and his troop was so tense. And then we made the joke about how he just says, Hail Mary, full of grace, Hail Mary, full of grace, Hail Mary, full of grace, Hail Mary. And I finished the prayer, and I haven't been religious in 20 years. And I'm like, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. And then he's still just going, Holy Mary, Mother of God, Holy Mary, Mother of God. And we watched the trailer, and he says that, and you're like, maybe we get to see it.
Maybe he'll say the whole prayer in the final cut, but he never does.
Nope. That's the whole reason I went and saw this movie. I like movies with prayers. And someone else does it too. Like, there's another prayer in the movie, but they just do the same thing. It's like, Our Father who art in heaven, Our Father who art in heaven, or something like that. Anyway.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
And never mind that knows you heard. And if that ring turns to brass, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
And then my final note is the child Nazi soldiers.
Right, we had to rewind and was that a little kid shooting that sniper rifle?
That was the Hitler Youth that was reported.
That's it.
I'm guessing. And one of them was 9. He wasn't saying no. He was the age 9. He looked no older than 9 or 10.
Ugh.
Which was pretty heartbreaking. And these grown men are just firing upon them, heartbreaking. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that being thrown into battle? You've got enough to worry about being in a fucking battle, and then after you've wiped out, the people who are trying to kill you, you find out some of them are children.
Yeah.
What does that do to you?
It's war, man.
Right in.
How does that make you
Have you
feel?
killed a kid out there? Right in on how your local abortion center is doing good work.
Good Lord.
Yeah, good Lord, indeed. And that's pretty much all I've got for notes.
Yeah,
I feel
man.
like I feel like we definitely can't do a podcast that's longer than this movie. We normally go at least as long as the movie, but I don't think we can do a 3-hour podcast on this one because it was too good. What else are we gonna say on it? What else did you enjoy? What other?
Let's see. To kind of top it off, phenomenal war film. This is our 3rd war film. Do you count The Hill as a war film?
Yes, I would count The Hill as a war film, though it's
So-
not directly war. They're all prisoners of war. So let me see. Let me go
'Cause-
through references.
But we did make a joke that this was the sequel to Longest Day.
And it kind of is.
And it really
because
is.
It
Yeah.
is. The Longest Day is D-Day, and Operation Market Garden is literally the follow-up invasion to D-Day.
Yeah.
Or Operation.
Yeah. So
because it's literally like sweeping up the destruction from D-Day.
yeah, but looking at those two films, both of those films had some similar aspects, like your paratrooper sequence. That was one of the most tense scenes in Longest Day. Was
that might have
guy,
been my favorite scene.
That guy hanging on for dear life
At the church.
Yeah, but
So good.
But it was more effective. Thank you.
Hey, Mama.
Oh, my friend Dylan says hi.
Who's that?
Dylan.
Oh,
Hey.
hi.
How's it
It's
going?
my mom.
Hey, Mama Lima.
Thank you so much. A little coffee and my yellow submarine mug.
Ooh, delightful. Yellow submarine.
Hotter it gets, the more you see the Beatles in their little windows. It's always blacked out.
Really?
But when it gets hot, you see the Beatles in their little respective windows. Like a little art.
That's awesome.
I love this mug. Maybe get a new one and start to chip away. Where was I?
I would sue the makers of that mug because you burned yourself just to see the Beatles.
It shows
so
how hot
looking
we
at-
are. But
Looking at our list, I'd say The Man Who Would Be King is kind of a war film. I'd say Cuba is kind of a war film. These are kind ofs.
why I think war film? I think like we see them in action on the
We
field.
see that in Cuba. The end sequence of Cuba
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we do get it pretty big in there.
is involved. It has tanks and explosions and right. Connery and that other guy are like riding a tank out of there.
That's very true. Very true.
I'm just gonna hit my light here. Sit down, light. Smack. The Longest Day. The Hill. The Wind and the Lion is a war movie.
True.
Sorry, just adjust my mic here.
So at least 4 or 5 we've covered.
Yeah, and then okay. So A Bridge Too Far, Wind and the Lion, Longest Day, The Hill, Cuba. So 6.
Maybe for like a 4th of July episode, we'll rank the military films we've covered so far, or the army.
I'm down for
films.
that. I'm down for that.
Some patriotic for our listeners here. But yeah, so going back to that, I think,
Or maybe I'm sorry to interrupt. Maybe rank these films on a scale of most American.
with the most American.
I think maybe that, because then we have more films. We can just use all of the films. I think The Rock might be at the top of that list.
That's probably the most American movie.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
All right, continue. I'm sorry.
But yeah, compared to every war film we've seen so far, this is definitely the most engaging, because I think one of the things we were very excited last week about this, for obvious other reasons, being like, your dad and like just seeing Michael Caine and Connery potentially in a movie together, Anthony Hopkins, all that. But yeah, I was just really, I was like nervous about the 3-hour mark and being reminiscent of Longest Day and how that was a real tough one to get through, because it was this very,
If you re-listen to the episode last, you hear when we spin it, I'm like, didn't I just say I had enough of black and white war films?
That's
Well, it
right.
turns out this was in color, and it was really fucking enjoyable.
Yeah, so I think of all the war films, this is one of the most enjoyable ones so far. And I'll discuss more when we get into the final ratings here.
Yeah, I think of all the war films, this is probably the second best that we've watched, if we're counting The Hill as a war film. And I know there's no action in The Hill, but
But it's still a
I'll
military
take-
movie.
yeah, I'll take character drama over action every day.
Right, yeah.
Maybe not my 10-year-old self, but yeah. What did we miss anything else from the movie that's really worth talking about?
I'll definitely give I'll give this movie its flowers for its special effects. Just
phenomenal.
Just the pyro budget, man, the explosions. Because I think we talked about that too, where every scene at least half a dozen times, you had a scene where it's kind of like dialogue and an unexpected explosion or shot comes out of nowhere, and it's action sequence. Then it's like you don't have a minute to relax in this movie because you never know when something's going to happen.
And even when you do, it's the moments of relaxation are still like people whose legs have been blown off and shit, and they're just like taking a minute to recover, like in the house.
Yeah.
With, what's her name here? Kate ter Horst, who also looking at a Dutch housewife and mother who tended wounded and dying Allied soldiers during the Battle of Arnhem. Her British patients nicknamed her the Angel of Arnhem. Oh my God. Mario.
What?
Kate ter Horst witnessed the landings by the British 1st Airborne Division at the beginning of Operation Market Garden on September 17th, 1944. That's when Operation Market Garden started on my fucking birthday.
Whoa.
Dad, what are you doing to me?
Bro.
What's happening right now? What is fucking happening?
This is crazy, man.
And oh my God, it went from the 17th to the 27th, which is like the end of the cycle here. Which, actually, no, it's not. That doesn't make any sense. I confused June with... Never mind. Just ignore that last one. But yeah, holy shit. Operation Market Garden started on my birthday.
Jesus.
Wow.
And my birthday is the same as Michael Caine's.
What the fuck is happening here? Holy shit. Dad, what are you doing to us?
What's happening? Everything happens.
Like,
this podcast happened for a reason, man.
He comes down, he's like, this is because I couldn't be on the podcast. I'm like, Dad, yes, we all sound like Sean Connery down here.
Down here? What's good? Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm just being realistic, okay? He wasn't a saint. I love him and I miss him, but you got to be realistic sometimes. Like, I'm not going to heaven.
Special place in here. All Sean Connerys come here.
There's a great George Carlin bit. It's like everyone says, like, I just know they're looking, they're looking down, smiling at us. Like, how do you know they're not screaming up at us?
All right, man. I think it's time to hit these final reviews scores. I'm curious.
I think so too.
I'm curious to see what you think of this because there's a lot of Connery, but also not a lot of Connery at the same time.
No, there's not too much, but there is like the perfect amount of Connery.
There's
He
enough.
is a lead character in this movie, but there's so many leads in this movie that he doesn't get more time than anybody else, really.
I'll have to say, man, I know this is not an official poster, but I love this poster.
It's fine.
Like-
It looks like a cheap DVD cover.
But I like how that looks, man. Of just the
it
top
shows
section.
off all our great stars.
Because I like that, just like the Avengers looking thing with Connery in the middle, and just everybody looks like $1 million. Like, I know it's like a very cliche. It looks like the Expendables,
it looks
Saving
like a
Private
2004
Ryan.
DVD Photoshop cover.
Yeah, but I just like that really establishes the freaking goats in this movie, man. Like, just fantastic. Like, I would definitely move up Anthony a little bit, man, because I feel like
Switch him and Khan maybe.
yeah, and like
But also if you look at who the stars were at the time, like
yeah.
Khan was a star, Redford was a star, Connery was a star. Like, you put them up front.
Yeah, you kind of went with the, I wouldn't say necessarily young heads and old heads, because it's kind of like, I don't know, there's more. It's the American side minus Hopkins, and like the kind of like yeah, you should have moved
Hackman.
Hackman over. Yeah, put Hackman over with Hopkins, and like so you have like your British side, and like your
Yeah.
English and your American side, and Connery's just like smack dab in the middle. It's like, here we go. But I don't. I'm
The
just.
only Americans you have there are Redford and Khan. But anyway,
Oh, that's right. I guess he's not.
Yeah.
He's not American, but yeah, man. I don't know.
think I just lost my train of thought completely. But I mean, yeah, that's not a bad piece of art, but it feels like a cheap DVD cover.
Yeah, I'm just a sucker for like that kind of like look of. Well, we promised eventually a Connery poster episode where we rank
I think
posters.
we should do that.
So
Want to just do that tonight?
Well, I think we need a few more. I think we need a few more episodes. How many do we have altogether right now?
Next one will be 25. So
let's do that.
Wanna just
20.
do that, yeah.
After we finish 25, whatever film we're gonna roll today. After that, we'll do our poster episode.
I really like. Can you allow me to share the screen here? Do we have to log off?
Oh no, I can.
I think there's a lot of really good posters for this. Like the one on the Wikipedia page is a great poster. It's the paratroopers with all the images, all our leads on the bottom. And if you look up any of these A Bridge Too Far posters,
We should be clear now.
like I really like this 4-in-1 here. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, that's like I like when you see the entire cast like that showcased, reminiscent of Murder in the Orient Express. Kind of like
yeah.
that.
I like these posters because it feels classic, you know, like that. Oh, that's the bottom of the whole one. But yeah, I really like this. Show the whole cast in this kind of, for lack of a not cheesy, but just like plainly laid out.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Can you click on that picture of Caine with the headphones, bottom left there? Oh, I want that picture framed. How cool he looks. Is that an actual like poster you could buy or something?
I mean, we feasibly can have anything.
I want that shit on like a canvas.
Open image, new tab.
That's it.
I feel we can get it bigger than that.
Yeah.
I'll leave it open. But
Yeah, look at the side. Look at the ratio of that. 3,500 by 2280.
There we go. Save image. Boom.
That's nice. That's a nice shot. That's like a reminiscent of our Doctor No episode. That could be my grandfather right there.
Yeah, that's honestly when Quarrel is killed by the dragon. That's who steps out of the dragon. Michael Caine.
How cool would that have been? It was just like Michael Caine in a Bond movie.
Would have been very weird.
I would.
Whoa! I'm gonna share the screen again. Look at this great behind-the-scenes shot of Attenborough directing.
Ooh.
Oh, hold on. Why is it? Let me zoom in. Look at that.
Oh my God! It's so cool.
With his condom hat and his red shirt.
He looks like the Gilligan.
Oh
and
wow!
Skipper.
There's another good
Whoa!
one with Caine.
Oh man, he looks so cool, man. These will all be on Instagram for you guys to see. So you guys can also appreciate the Caine.
Oh,
all
yeah.
things
These are some good
Caine.
pictures. What's this one? Oh, that's wow. Redford is so handsome. Brad Pitt looks so much like him. It's ridiculous.
Seriously.
Have they been in anything together? Brad Pitt, Robert Redford. Spy Game. Okay, well I need to watch this movie now.
Are they on a cover together?
Good Lord, they look so much alike.
Let me guess. He plays his dad. Yeah, look at them on the bench there.
Wow, insane. They look
He-
so much alike.
Does he play his dad?
Let's see.
This is Spy Game curious.
Robert Redford as Nathan D. Muir, and Brad Pitt as Tom Bishop. So no.
Oh man, missed opportunity.
Huh.
Well, if they ever did like a biopic or something for Redford, get Pitt in there.
Have you seen? I think we might have discussed this. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I haven't yet. It's on my
He
list.
looks like Redford in that movie, big time.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I might. Is that? I'll see if I can rent it tonight or.
I have it.
Oh, do you?
I have it. I'll share it with you.
Let's do that, man.
That's a good pick right there of Attenborough. I love Attenborough's little like floppy fishing hats.
Yeah, he loves his fishing
They're
hats.
great, and his bright blue and red shirts. It's a spiffy.
Is that a Beatles pin? It says help on it or something. It says help.
Oh, it does say help. Maybe he was a Beatles fan.
But
Wow, look at the logo on the side of the truck here. I love that.
A bridge too far.
On the side of the production truck. That's awesome. I need to take some time and read this article. Look, Hackman and Connery sitting together.
He was this big.
Very tiny, you see. Wow, these are some good pictures. Oh my gosh, look at these. I'll send you this link. This is a really
I want to look through these later.
cinephile beyond.
Oh.
Or cinephilia beyond.
All right, man. So, fun pictures aside, why don't we get to some scores here, man?
Yeah. Though I'm going to send you this link right now because it's
Throw it
worth
over,
looking
man.
through.
While you're sending that, I'll explain to the people at home. At the end of each episode, we like to go through our ratings. Not just the film rating, but we also like to rate the man himself, Connery, and, of course, the sexiness of the film, and if the S H's. So, what shall we hit first? Shall we hit the S-Hing first?
Forgive me, I was hitting my vape pen.
Oh, that's fine.
Like a cool, rebellious youth, you know?
You're welcome.
Yeah. I think we just go in the regular order that we normally do.
Let's start with the SH, man.
I will share my screen with you here. All right. So let's go. Yeah, our first rating is does the SH. Mario, what are you going to give it?
I think it's definitely there. I think I would give it a 007, if you will.
You're going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 6, which gives it an average of 6.5.
Very good.
It's there somewhat, you know. It's there.
Yes.
All right. Now, what are you going to give it the sexy rating? I think it's hard to give a Sean sexy rating for this film, but I don't know. What are you giving it?
I don't think it's sexy. I think it's very handsome. I think it's very. He just looks good in the military outfit, man. But it's not sexy. It's just cool. I think I made a comment that like I want him as like an operator in Call of Duty. Like he looked so cool in this. So I think for a sexy rating, I give it like a 5. It's not really sexy.
I also give it a 5.
Yeah.
I'm going with a 5 as well, and I think honestly Redford takes most of that 5.
Yeah, Caine too, man. Caine looks like a million
Caine looks
bucks.
good. Yeah, he looks really good.
I like them both. But okay.
Yeah, so I'd say 5. It's not
right.
war is not very sexy.
Yeah, not sexy at all.
Alrighty, so do we do our Sean rating or our film rating?
I think for this case, let's do Sean first.
Okay. What are you gonna give our boy Sean?
So he's not in the film a ton.
No.
But when he is on screen, he definitely does take the scene. But I wasn't like very. Let's just say I did forget sometimes that this was a movie for Connery Curious. Because I'm like, oh shit, that's right, Connery's in this, because I was so like taken away by James Caan. And
second film in a row where it didn't feel like a Connery Curious film.
But for good reason, man. Again, I feel like this podcast is taking on a new meaning where it's like, yes, we're going through Connery films, but it's allowing us to see films we probably wouldn't have seen. This is a film that your father got you, that you just never ended up watching. And
It
you
would have sat in my binder for years.
And now it's like this was able to show us that. And then like same thing with last week with Memories of Me. It's like, holy shit, man, I never would have watched that movie ever if it wasn't for this podcast. So I think for that, it's like, it's a blessing. But I think Connery, I give Connery an 8. He's
an 8.
I think he's fine. I think when he's in there, he's great. He's very intense. But he wasn't bad. I think I give him like a fair, you know what, 7.5. 7.5. I think 7.5. 8 might be too friendly. Because I'm looking at this list, I'm like looking at other times I've given him 8s, and like there's movies when he's tremendous in, but this one he's not in a ton. So I think 7.5.
I'm gonna go with a 9.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked him in this. I thought he was very good. There wasn't enough of him.
I think that's what takes it down for me. It's just like I'm just not enough to like really. I didn't feel for his character. I felt for everyone else's character. You
But
know
it
what I mean?
also wasn't the longest day.
Right.
where he's just at the end and he's just providing comic relief. He did have a little bit of comic relief in this movie when they're getting to the planes and he's like, I have air sickness.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. But yeah, I liked him a lot in this. He wasn't in all that much, but his scenes were incredibly important, and I feel like ultimately he is probably the most important player in this movie.
He
in terms of how many people he's the one that suffers the most losses, I think.
He does.
Besides maybe Redford. Well, actually, I'm
they
sorry.
They all get.
Everyone loses. Everyone loses hard.
Yeah. So
yeah, Hopkins loses pretty hard too. Yeah, but I just really liked Connery in this. He was human. He was very human in this movie. He wasn't comic relief like he was in The Longest Day. Which also, it's really interesting comparing this to The Longest Day, because The Longest Day is such an old Hollywood kind of film where you get all these stars and they're all kind of doing their own thing as opposed to doing something that contributes to the larger whole of it. And then, you've just got Connery for the sake of having a funny cameo in there, and it doesn't serve any purpose at all. But I granted I gave him a 10 in The Longest Day, but that's because I enjoyed him. But I feel like he is very committed to this role, and he is, like I said, very human. That especially the air sickness line, it was just like, okay, you're playing this as a man who, like everybody else in this same situation, is in over his head. War is not fun. This is not a fun thing, but you're gonna make a smile when you can. And seeing him lead his people is really good. I really like that sequence in the rain.
First time we get Connery in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, I like him in this.
You know what? Bring me back to my original 8.
You sure?
I think you've sold me on the original 8.
Okay. So that gives him
that.
an average of 8.5. I think that's pretty fair.
Give him that 8.5. I like it.
He's very good in this. I feel like if he was the star of the movie, it could hinder it. Like, it's too big of a movie to rely entirely on him.
Yeah, and it would be impossible to fill the shoes of everyone else in this movie. I'd be too distracted, but I don't know, man. But yeah, I agree. I agree with this average of 8.5. I like it.
I like it. All right, what are you giving it as a film, Mario?
Easy 9.
Easy 9.
I think the thing that takes it away from being a 10 is, I think you mentioned it earlier, some scenes you could have cut up a little bit. Could have cut up a lot of this. It's a I think it's just about 3 hours on the dot, man, if not 2:59.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could have brought that back to like a 2:45 or.
I think a 2:20, 2:15, 2:20 could have been a good length.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like beautiful shots, beautiful wide shots, man. But like certain ones are kind of like you cut off a little bit and give me more of that plane scene.
Let's talk about that for a second. This film was photographed by Jeffrey Unsworth, and this is not the first film, nor the last, that we will have seen that's shot by Jeffrey Unsworth. So he is regarded as one of the great cinematographers of all time. He shot 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Ooh.
He shot Superman and Superman 2.
Ooh, I'm seeing a favorite in here too.
Oh yeah, you're looking at his. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got it. I'm still sharing the screen. But yeah, we're gonna see him a few more times. We saw him in Murder on the Orient Express. We didn't see him, but we saw his work. He shot Murder on the Orient Express. He shot A Bridge Too Far, and we're gonna see him again in Hell Drivers, and The First Great Train Robbery.
Whew.
Oh yeah. So.
Oh man. Well, speaking of...
And Zardoz.
Oh, he's Zardoz. Oh, my God.
And Zardoz. Look at that. We're going to get him 1, 2, 3 more times. That's awesome.
Well, all right, man. So I gave you my film rating. What's yours?
Well, if I can go back to the tab here. It's gonna let me. Okay. There we go. I'm going to I'm gonna take our Sean ratings and flip them. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Ooh, okay.
I really enjoyed this film, but as we said, it could have been cut down a little bit. There's a point, as I've said before, there's a point where just gun battles get to be a bit much for me, and explosions and just violence for the sake of violence. And I watch at a certain point in all of these war movies, I get to a point where I'm going like we didn't need to do any of this. Like, war happened already. We don't need to make people reenact it. It's okay. We can just all acknowledge that it happened before. Especially when you see some of the people like being real close to real explosions.
Yeah.
But I still really loved this movie. Going back to Jeffrey Unsworth, his cinematography, I think, is the star of this movie. That
Agreed.
shot of the outside of the German mansion. Remember which one I'm talking about? The one that goes through the 3 windows and out to the backyard?
Yeah.
What a shot. Like, just some of the cinematography here is just absolutely stunning. And just top-notch acting from everybody. But I think because big, bombastic war films are not really my cup of tea, I think it just brings it down to an 8 for me.
Okay.
If we trimmed it down to like 220, 230-ish at the most, then I think it would come up to maybe an 8.5 or a 9. But I'll revisit this. Are you going to rewatch this?
I think so, man.
Yeah.
I think I might check it out again.
I will rewatch this at some point in time, especially because I own it.
Yeah.
So, all right, I think that covers our rating. Let's go through them here. So our S's, they are H'd at an average of 6.5. We both thought this film ranks at a 5 on the sexiness scale. Our average film rating is an 8.5, and our average Sean rating is an 8.5.
Nice solid rating. I like it.
Indeed. Which I think that brings us to our next segment, which is, we did our segment rating episode before, but or mini, you know what I'm talking about. But I think this might be our favorite part of the show.
One that ends the show, man. We're going to go over to wheelofnames.com to spin our wheel of curiosities, which holds the ever so slowly dwindling list of Connery
We're a third
films.
of the way through.
I can see every episode. I can see the movies clearer.
Yeah.
The panels are getting wider, which
Yeah.
means it's like getting less and less. So we kind of talked about it before. Let's kind of revisit it. What do you hope to see hit on the wheel?
I'm putting it out there. I want Last Crusade. Give me Last Crusade.
I think I'm gonna go there with you because I've been on Amazon Video and everything. It's been like teasing all the indie movies, and because they just dropped on Disney Plus, so they're very easy to access.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't watch it yet because I can watch the first 2, but I can't watch that last one yet, man, because Connery's in it.
What do you say? What do you say if we're unhappy with this spin, we just make it Last Crusade?
I don't know, because we do have guests for that, so we got to make sure the guests are booked and ready to go.
That's true.
So we'd have to see. I say we just spin it, and then we talk, and maybe we do a special episode where we just skip to it. Maybe I don't know.
Let's see what it happens. And
I feel like
let's spin the wheel.
I feel like every week we're finding a way to break the wheel.
And the wheel always imposes its will upon us.
The wheel is not like it's like no, you will watch
the will of the wheel.
It's like, is it my turn to spin?
I think it's your turn to
Well,
spin.
yeah, your dad did last week, so I'll Dad, come on in. My dad will come in and spin. Let's
Where's
see.
Go get your dad.
No, he's not even here. I mean, he's
Have
with
your
us,
mom
but yeah, my mom's to spin. Where am I? I have to share my screen
Yes.
and show you my wheel.
But like, I really want to watch Last Crusade.
You're trying to... well, let's see, man. If the wheel likes us as much as it does, let's see what it hits, man.
All right, Wheel, be our friend. Dad, summon up the Jones family for us.
Come on. I can see right. Should I do a shuffle?
Oh, shuffle, shuffle all the way.
All right. Let me know when to stop.
Shuffle, shuffle all the way. Shuffle, shuffle every day. Shuffle, shuffle had a duffel in a ruffle. Was he? Stop.
Okay. All right.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
All right. Are you ready?
Should we take films suggested by listeners off the...
Well, if we hit it, then maybe we can suggest that they suggest Last Crusade.
Let's take that one off for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now,
We'll come back to it. Because I think right now the only one in there is like Guns at Batazzi.
All right. And just for that, I'm going to shuffle again.
Yeah.
Tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous.
All right.
I feel like I'm losing my virginity.
Whoa. Let's lose together, man. All right. Are you ready to spin?
Don't tell the people that.
Okay.
That was for you and me.
That's for you. Oh no, that's no more. We'll edit it out.
Alrighty.
All right.
Here we go. I'm so nervous.
All right, Dylan. Are you ready? This time to spin.
I am ready to spin the
wheel of curiosity.
I'm not even looking. What do we get?
Medicine Man. So I'm just curious, how far away were we from Last Crusade?
Well, move that box.
Just close out of it. It was right here.
Yeah. What do you think? I'm not that excited for Medicine Man because I started watching it once and I got bored and I shut it off. But that could have just been where I was at the time. But I believe,
Honestly, man.
I believe we have somebody that would want to be a guest for that episode.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. What were you saying? Honestly.
I'm taking your suggestion into Connery consideration because it would be
Consideration.
Because it would be like good, kind of inside baseball for you guys. Like it would be good analytics wise to do an indie movie saying that Indy is coming out in the last Indiana Jones film. Granted, Connery is definitely not going to be in it, although he did make an appearance in Crystal Skull as a photo. So I hope I hope it becomes another photo.
Cost them $80 million for that.
Yeah, should have printed and everything. It was in paint, gold paint.
Yes, I just called Walgreens and had them print one.
So I think for Connery first, I think we knock Indiana Jones off the wheel and do it next week, or whenever our guests are ready.
Do you want to do Indiana Jones?
I think we should do Indiana Jones.
I'm down for that. Are we using... All right, what's the veto policy here? It's someone to call my name. What was that? I don't know. I just had a little stroke there.
I'll make a deal with you. Actually, you used a veto before when we did the misspin. And I allowed
for You Only Live Twice.
For You Only Live Twice, and I allowed it. Yeah. So you got to use yours. I'm going to use mine on Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair to me.
So we both
neither of us have another veto.
So no more vetoes. And
what happened? Did I die?
Yes, you
out in the tomato field.
Don Vito, you died again today.
I hope I wasn't scaring my grandkids
with orange peels.
It's a trick I do with my kids in real life, apparently.
So, okay. I think that is a deal.
Okay. I'm not opposed to watching Medicine Man, but
But
I
think
just timing wise, like
I think we got to do it. How about this?
well, hold on. When does Dial of Destiny come out?
Soon, very soon. I think
It comes out June 30th.
And wouldn't it come out? That episode wouldn't have it come out on that weekend, or the weekend after?
Yeah. So this episode is going to come out on the 18th, Father's Day, which means that the following episode, this Indiana Jones episode, or whichever, would be on the 25th.
Right before.
But it comes out on the 30th. So we could push it to the 2nd, but then...
No, give people a chance to watch this, because this is the real one you want to watch before... You skip Crystal Skull. You don't need to watch that bullshit. You got to watch this.
Crystal Skull to enjoy.
I mean, yeah, there is, but...
There's stuff to enjoy. Dude, the first act of that movie is pretty tight.
Yeah, but like the motorcycle sequence always just be excited in the beginning and stuff.
Yeah,
but like
that whole sequence of him getting to know Mutt and like the greaser fight, and that was so good.
Yeah,
like, punch that guy. What? Just punch him.
Yeah. So okay, watch the first half of Crystal Skull and turn it off.
All right, I like this.
So yeah, let's do it, man. This is gonna be a Connery first. Sorry for Medicine Man fans. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll book Indiana Jones and just do Medicine Man after, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Let's do that.
We skipped the wheel for 2 weeks essentially. Sorry, wheel.
Let's do that. And I guess, do you want to announce our guest that we definitely have for the show for this episode?
Let's do it. You've got a guest, and I've got a guest. We got 2 guests for this episode.
Yes. So who is your
first
guest?
My guest. It seems I've got a recurring trend of bringing my family members onto this show because my sister wants to join us for The Last Crusade. Her name is Tess McGowan, and you can hear her over at the Under the Fedora podcast. Check that out, Under the Fedora, a Michael Jackson podcast. She and I have been doing that podcast for a little while. We haven't done one in a while because she's had a lot of stuff going on in her life, but things are actually starting to settle down for her now, so I think we should be able to get her on, no issue.
There we go.
And who do you have coming on?
Funny enough, I also have a guest who has a podcast.
What?
I bring along my good pal Preston Thompson of the Drafted podcast. They are actually the sister podcast for Friggin' Nerds podcast, which is also celebrating 100 episodes tomorrow, which is really exciting.
Oh my God!
On the 13th.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. But great podcast. They draft things. They'll be like, we'll draft the best snacks, the best presidents. They draft everything. It's really fun. A really cool show. Check out Drafted Pod wherever you get your podcasts. So Preston,
I dig it.
When this podcast first started, and I think I put the beacon out on Twitter of like, if people would like to join this podcast, he DM'd me immediately and said, I need to do Last Crusade. So after this, I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to send him an email and be
you
like...
don't need to tell me about how you're going to get off.
Oh, no, I won't tell you. That's our secret. But he's going to be very excited, and I'm sure your sister will be very excited as well.
Honestly, the second we started this, she reached out to me and said, "Can I do Last Crusade?"
So, man. So this is exciting, man. So
do you feel like we're putting bad vibes out there by negating the wheel?
No, it's good vibes. It's good vibes because it's Indiana Jones season, man. We don't have the opportunity to do this with any other film on this list unless they come out with like maybe a Bond, but like, we're not going to get like,
there's no brand synchronicity like this.
Bond will go on for forever. This is the last Harrison Ford Indy. Like, God forbid they ever recast him in the future, but like, this is the last Harrison Ford Indiana Jones film. It looks great.
Yeah.
And I think...
And what you said about getting to 100 episodes, we'll never get to 100 episodes with Connery Curious because there's not 100 movies, and we've got about, 45, 50 movies left. There won't be another Bond movie in that time period.
Yeah.
So this is the only chance we have for this.
Yeah, unless we do like more Curious or something. If we do another spin-off episode or show or something.
Which I think we should do. We should definitely
absolutely
do that.
So that will hit 100
if
episodes.
We're counting them as... If we count it as Connery Curious.
Yeah.
If we start it as a new podcast, it will be a clean slate.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out when the time comes. We're still gonna get to all these movies first.
Yeah, that's about a year away.
Yeah.
But But you are correct. The synchronicity here works, and as I said, this episode will come out on the 25th. The 1 year anniversary of my father's death is the 26th. So I think wrapping up the Father's Day season with a film about fathers and sons reconnecting, and have two films this month about fathers and sons reconnecting.
Yeah. And we're also connecting friends.
Exactly. Are there any other films on here that seem to be about fathers reconnecting with their sons and vice versa?
Isn't
Family Business?
Family
right?
Business. I think
so. Huh.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to. I hope Wheel of Curiosities. Please do not let this be a sign of bad vibes. We respect you wholly, but we have now used our 2 vetoes. Someone call me or me? No, not you 2 vetoes. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. We'll see you next season. But I like that rule. I like that rule that we get each get a veto each season. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's a fun little tidbit.
Now here's something I want to ask. This is our film 25. Do we want to consider it 1 veto every 25?
I'll think about it.
Because we have about 75 films here. I feel like that might help with points where we're not feeling something, you know? We each have 3. We've each used 1, so now we have 2 left. And we can only use 1 in a 25 movie period. Or if you want to use 2, then you can't use it for the next one. You know?
We'll sit on this. We'll revisit this night. I need to marinate on that.
Yeah. Like we marinated on this movie. Like you
Yes.
marinated those shrimp tacos.
They were so good. I gotta make those again.
Well, this has been a fun chat, as it is always.
As always, man. And guys, of course, thanks for listening. And next week, Sean Connery returns in
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, I'm so excited for this, man. This is one of my favorite Connery movies.
This is one of my favorite films. I
Yeah,
love this movie.
oh man. So we're excited for this, man, and we hope you guys hang out with us and with our special guest Preston Thompson and
Tess McGowan.
Ooh, baby.
You know what I just realized? This is a second film involving a character with an umbrella that uses umbrellas in warfare.
That's right. Oh man. I'm excited, man. Umbrella Warfare. It's coming. But anyways, man, until then, I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus. And as always, folks,
stay curious.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on social media for updates, memes, and clips. Find us on Twitter at CuriousPod007 and on Instagram at Connery Curious. You can also visit Titus Compositions at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion and content about your favorite films, comics, games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit Friggin' Nerds Media on Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach the other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us, and have a great day, but also, remember, stay curious.
Tell him to go to hell.
We haven't the proper facilities to take you all prisoner. Sorry. What? We'd like to, but we can't accept your surrender. Was there anything else?